If you woke up tomorrow and Dumbledore was standing next to your bed, I don't know why I chose Dumbledore, just go with it, and he asked, would you like to fly this first class or this first class? Which one would you choose? If you were like me, you'd ask, could I get both? Well, whoever was offering would say, no, you have to choose one. And that's why I made this video. What's up, Nonstop Nation? That was new. Well, I'm back with a new video, and today it's gonna get real luxurious as we compare two of the world's best first class products, Etihad and Singapore Airlines fully enclosed suites with separate beds. Obviously, these are both absolutely amazing products, and the fact that I spent about $100 in total to try them both is freaking amazing too. I did a poll on my Instagram about whether you'd like to see miles and points videos or comparisons like this, and a small majority of you said you'd like to see videos like this, but that doesn't mean I won't be doing miles and points videos too. I just need to figure out how to make them as interesting as possible for you guys. I'm sure most of you maybe don't know the absolute best way to redeem for these first class products, but once you realize and I explain how you can get these amazing redemptions, you'll get pretty excited about the opportunity to test these yourselves once the pandemic has settled down. So now let's get down to business, or should I say down to first or up to first? I don't know. If we were faced with the ultimate first world problem of choosing between these two seats, which should we choose? Well, let me tell you now, the answer might surprise you. Let's start with the oldest seat. When I reviewed it in my controversial Etihad first class review back in 2018, the seat was probably my favorite part of the flight in most ways. Guys, when boarding, I was actually blown away. I felt like I was entering a backstage area of some talk show. This is your dressing room, Mr. Dan. Why? Thank you. Anyhow, then I settled in and was showered with anxiety. How am I going to enjoy this shortish 6-hour flight and record every part of this seat? Given my terrible camera work, it might seem quick and easy, but it's not, okay? All jokes aside, this seat has so many great features that you'll need a tour from the crew to make sure you're utilizing everything. Not many people would think to push all the panels on the seat. Neither did I, but thankfully the crew showed me the most important part of this entire apartment, the minibar. Oh, if only it had been filled with bubble tea. If I ever get the chance to fly the residents on Etihad out of New York, you better believe I'll be sending a special request that they cater Boba Guy's strawberry matcha latte. I'm just a small town boy with dreams bigger than an A380, what can I say? So besides the drink compartment, there are slightly more useful compartments like this storage or this huge vanity mirror, which is more advanced than anything I've ever seen on the ground. There are compartments along the side, perfect for unpacking your entire carry-on if you so wish. Next, there's a huge TV that swivels, although it should be noted that Etihad's entertainment selection is censored, just like their Middle Eastern competitors. I'm not sure I told you guys this story, but the first time I flew Qatar, I was watching Family Guy and got so confused why the episode was so choppy. Eventually, I realized that was because everything sexual was censored, so I was like, oh, wait. Ultimately, it's not a huge deal, and if you want to watch your own content, bring an HDMI cable and hook it up to the screen. That's professional flyer level 100 right there. The seat itself is, well, big. It's comfortable enough and will fit people of any shape or size. It doesn't recline that much, which is a shame, but for sleeping, you have a far cooler surface, the separate bed. You simply ask the crew to make the bed for you, and just like that, you have a long separate bed to sleep on. As I mentioned in my original review, it's on the hard side, but I'm willing to overlook that problem. Last but not least, there is a door, an epic, beautiful door. From your seat, you can't actually see it, so in a way, the seat feels like a fully enclosed suite, even though the seat walls don't extend to the ceiling. Having so much privacy is awesome, so let's move on to Singapore Airlines, which is a competitor of Etihad, but not to such a large extent anymore, now that Etihad is reducing their network size and changing strategies. The reason I'm comparing these airlines is that they both have the two most ridiculous room-like first-class suites of any airlines, in my opinion, including the new Emirates 777 first class, which is insane, but not quite as spacious. You guys know I love Singapore Airlines, but I'm putting my love for them aside to be fair and honest as always. Purely from a size perspective, Singapore Airlines seats take up pretty much 50% more space than those on Etihad, which is quite crazy. Now, big doesn't always mean better, or if you think so, then this video is over. You should probably just book this because it's way bigger. But putting size aside, this suite has so many cool features that I don't even know where to begin. I only got to fly this seat for 3 hours, and honestly, I wasn't even done filming when we commenced our descent. This is one of those rare moments where I was hoping that there would be some massive storm in Singapore and oh no, we'd have to fly all the way back to Hong Kong. What a bummer. Anyhow, my buttocks got to enjoy the comfort of the new Singapore Airlines first class seat for 180 minutes and loved every moment. The seat swivels so that you can stare at any wall you'd like. You can look forward at the huge adjustable HD TV mounted on the wall, or turn the other way and sit by the desk looking out of the window. Super casual, right? So I'm all for productivity, but using this flight to answer emails would feel like the ultimate tragedy. Just being able to sit and look out straight into the sunset was pretty epic though. The seat also reclines a little bit, but just like on Etihad, the actual bed is separate. So when the lovely purser came and made the bed, I realized straight away that this one is slightly larger than the one on Etihad. Not to mention that you can turn it into a real double bed if you're traveling with someone else. I was flying alone because I could barely afford to pay this flight for myself with miles, let alone for Oscar, but trust, he was enjoying his flight on Scoot. The bed, needless to say, is incredible. The bedding was opulent. Opulence! And there were almost too many pillows, which is obviously better than having too few pillows. Privacy wise, the walls extend really high, so you can't see any other passengers, but one thing that makes them much less private than on Etihad is that there are actually holes in the door. I'm not sure why they put these there, presumably so the crew kind of have an idea of what's going on inside, especially in the double bed, if you know what I mean. This also means that you can slightly see through your door across to the seat across the aisle from you. You'll see people walking up and down the aisle, but ultimately no one really sees you unless they bend down. In a way, I prefer this to Etihad. This is absolutely ridiculous to even say, but on a plane, sometimes I feel like it's scary to be all alone and not see anyone, including the crew. On Singapore Airlines, you're reminded that there are other people on board and you feel like there's life going on in the aisles without being bothered by it. So I know I said this video would be about the seat, but I think there are a couple more things to consider. When it comes to Etihad and Singapore Airlines, both of them have fantastic catering in my opinion, among the best first class catering I've ever had. For me personally, being plant-based, I think that Singapore Airlines has a slight advantage, but honestly Etihad really impressed me as well. Now one thing, if you're not flying point to point, it's worth considering the airport you'll need to transit in, and obviously, Singapore Changi being pretty much the best airport in the world, that's preferable to Abu Dhabi, which is personally one of my least favorite airports in the world. I was really looking forward to the renovated new terminal, but who knows what the status is of that right now. All I can say is Changi for the win. So here are a few bonus features. Both seats are big enough for making TikToks, doing yoga, various other workouts, getting down and dirty if so is necessary, but mainly they're just both great. As I mentioned at the start, if you get a chance to fly either of these once the pandemic has calmed down, you get your ass to the airport and get on that flight because it will be a memory for life. If you have the even larger luxury of choosing which of these two to fly, I'd like to share my Venmo username now. Otherwise, I'd choose Singapore Airlines for an increased space and even more ridiculous layout. Right now, I take any flight on any airline though, so if you find any good deals on Ryanair, please hit me up. But I want to hear from you guys. What is the best flight you've ever taken? Have you flown either of these products? I really want to hear your experience because obviously each experience is subjective. You never know if my experience was better or worse than yours. So please let me know. And also, I always interact with you guys on Instagram. So if you send me a DM sharing your story, I will surely respond. Hopefully I don't get like hundreds of DMs straight away now, but for now I'll be staying home, playing with my mom's cats though, swimming in freezing Swedish lakes, and looking for a house that I can buy with airline miles so I can finally move out. If anyone knows a realtor that accepts miles, hit me up as well. Also, I've just started practicing for my driver's license, and it's quite embarrassing because right now I'm more skilled at landing an A380 in a full motion simulator, which I've tried on multiple occasions by the way, than starting a manual car on a hill. So pathetic. Well, until I see you all next time, stay safe, Nonstop Nation. I love you. Bye.